Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the science class. In science class today, we will revise our unit number 2 and unit 3. First, we see what is unit number 2. We have already studied about the food chain. Hope you all remember that what is a food chain. Look, food chain. First of all, what is a food? Food gives energy to living things. All of us and also all other living things like animals and plants, they need food to get energy. Energy goes from one plant or animal to another. Just like you can see here, inner energy goes from plant to animal and from one animal to another animal. And the plant gets energy from the sun. We also get energy from the sun, but the food energy we get from the different animals and the plants. Each time an animal is eaten, its energy is passed on to the animal that eats it, just like this fox eats rabbit, then the energy from the rabbit goes into the fox. The way in which living things are linked together by their food is called a food chain. Understand what is a food chain? The way in which living things are linked together by their food is called a food chain. Just like this. This is like a chain. Fox get energy from rabbit, rabbit get energy from the plant, and plant get energy from the sun. This is like a chain. They all are connected to each other. So that's why we call it the food chain. It may be more long or maybe short. Let's see, a food chain shows how all living things depend upon each other. If one part of the food chain is destroyed, it can affect the other plants and animals. It means the food chain has the parts. How many parts the food chain has? Look here, sun, producers, then these are the consumers all, then we have decomposers. This is a simple food chain. Sun gives energy to producers, then this bug, then to the chicken, then to the human beings. What these four parts? Let's see. Four main parts of the food chain. First is sun, producer means plants, consumers, all animals and human beings and insects, you can say, they are the consumers that consumes from outside. Then what are the decomposers? Let's see. First of all, what is the sun? Without the sun, the earth would not be able to support life. Sun is the first part of the food chain. It is the main source of energy for earth. It provides light and heat. It is necessary for plants to carry out photosynthesis process. Remember what is a photosynthesis process? It is the process through which plants make their own food. That's why they are the producers, because they produce their own food. Let's see about the producers. Plants are producers as they make their own food with the help of sunlight. This process is called photosynthesis. Understand which process is called photosynthesis? That they make their own food with the help of sunlight. Not only sunlight, they need water, nutrients, carbon dioxide, and the sunlight. This all process is called photosynthesis. They make their food means, look, these are the leaves of the plants, then they have vegetables, fruits, flowers. All these we get from the plants. Then the animal eat these plants, look like this. Even the human beings eat the plants, some leafy vegetables or other vegetables. We eat plants. So plants are the only producers in the food chain. The first part is the sun, second part are the producers, and producers are only plants as they make their own food. If an animal eats the producer, means plant, it will get the energy from the plant. The energy of that plant goes into the animal who is eating that plant. So plants are the producers. Now then we have the consumers. Consumers are all living things that cannot produce their own food, just like us, human beings and other animals are consumers since they cannot make their own food. We need to eat the food from outside. It means our body does not make food inside, just like the plants. Plants make their food inside of their body, but the animals and the human beings do not make their own food inside. They have to eat something. They have to eat different animals and the plants. So their consumers are different from the producers. Then we have types of consumers. How many types of consumers we have? Again, we have 4 types of consumers: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and scavengers. Let's see who are herbivores. As you know from the herb means herbs means green leafy things. Herbs means the plants. Herbivores are those animals that eat plants only. Understand? They do not eat meat, means they do not eat other animals. They eat only plants. They get energy from plants and grass. They need a lot of energy to live. They usually spend the day eating grass, leaves, plants, fruits, or vegetables. Every time when you see these types of animals like giraffe, cow, goat, rabbit, you see them, they are eating. Zebra, elephant, they all are the examples of herbivores animals. Okay. Now then the second type of consumers are carnivores. They are opposite of herbivores. Herbivores eat plant only and carnivores eat meat only to get energy to survive. They do not eat plants. They eat only the meat of different type of animals. They get their food by hunting other animals, just like this in this picture is the tigers, lion. They eat the meat. All these animals, the wild animals, you can say they are the examples of carnivores. Now, the third type of consumers are omnivores. Who are they? Omnivores are animals that eat and survive on both plant and animals. Herbivores eat only plants, carnivores eat only meat, and then omnivores, they eat both the things, means they eat plant and whenever they want, they eat the meat also, meat of different animals, just like chicken, goat, or just like these animals, they eat fish or the meat of other animals, or if they don't get the meat, they can eat the plants also. So they get their food and energy from plants and other animals, just like the human beings. We love to eat chicken, we love to eat meat of mutton or beef. And if we do not get this, then we can survive by eating vegetables, fruits, and plants. Okay, now the fourth type of consumers are scavengers. What are scavengers? Scavengers are the animals that eat dead bodies of animals. For example, birds like crows and vultures are scavengers. They feed on animal remains left behind by the carnivore animals. Look, these are the dead bodies of some animals, which carnivore animals left these, and then they come and eat these dead bodies. So they are called scavengers. They eat the dead bodies of animals. This is the fourth type of consumers. Now in the food chain, the fourth part of the food chain, decomposer. How many parts the food chain has? 4 parts: sun, producers, consumers. Then inside consumers, we have 4 types: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and scavengers. Then the fourth part of the food chain is the decomposer. Who are decomposers? Decomposers are living things, for example, ants, flies, fungi, and bacteria. What are these things? What they do? Fungi and bacteria are very tiny, which can only be seen with a special microscope. They cannot see with the naked eye. We need a special microscope to see them. Fungi and bacteria only. But you can see the ants and flies and other insects. What they do, they break up the dead bodies of animals and plants. Understand what they do? They break up the remains of dead bodies which are on the, you can say, on the ground. Then they break them up again into smaller parts. Then what happened? They recycle the nutrients to be used again by producers. Then when their bodies broke up into the smaller part, then it goes into the ground again and used by the producers, means used by the plants. So this is all about unit number 2, about the food chain. Okay, now our unit number 3, insects. We are going to revise. It's a very small unit about the insects, and the easiest. Let's read and understand. Just you cannot understand, you have already understood, just to recall your memory and see that you remember or not. Insects are one of the most diverse and numerous animals on the planet and make up over 90% of the animal kingdom. It means there are so many insects in this world. This world is, you can say, the full of different type of insects. Many insects we knew, but many of them we don't know. An insect is a very small animal with special characteristics. Insects are invertebrates. Remember what is invertebrate? It means they have no backbones. It means insects do not have bones. So that's why they don't have backbone also. Most insects walk, but some can fly and jump. Look, this insect only walk, this, but like this ant only walk, but like the grasshoppers or flies and bees, honeybees, they can fly also. Butterfly, they are also the type of insects and they can fly also. And some can jump only, but most of them walk. Insects need water, air, and food to live. Okay, these are the some information about the insects. Then we have studied the parts of insects. How many parts an insect has? The head. First of all, we have the head. The head of an insect includes the sensing organs such as eyes, mouth, and antennae. This is the head. Then what we have in this picture, you can see thorax. The thorax is the second part of an insect. It contains the attachments for the 3 pairs of legs as well as the attachment for the wings. From the thorax, legs and wings are attached there. First we have head, where they have the sensing organs. Then they have the thorax, where wings and legs attached. Now the last segment is the abdomen. It is usually the largest part of an insect. Like this, you can see in the picture, this is abdomen. From here to here, it is the largest part. The abdomen contains the digestive organs and possible stingers such as those on bees and wasps. Okay, the 3 main parts of the insects. The insect body is divided into 3 parts: head, thorax, abdomen. And then with the thorax, 3 pairs of legs. That's why its name, insect, came from this reality that its body is divided into sections, different sections. That's why we call it insect. Okay. Now, insects also use an exoskeleton. What is exoskeleton? Look, which is an external skeleton made of chitin. They do not have bones inside their body, so they have exoskeleton. Means outside of their body, they have a hard covering, which is called chitin. This hard covering gives shape to their body and protect their organs and the body part. This exoskeleton is different from human, who have endoskeleton. Human beings and other animals, as we say, the vertebrates animals, they have endoskeleton made of bones. It means inside their body there is a framework of bones, which we call skeleton, which gives the shape to the body and which give the strength to the body. Beside this, insect's body is protected and supported by the hard covering chitin. Remember, I already told you this about the exoskeleton and endoskeleton. Okay, children, this is the revision of our unit number 2 and unit number 3. Hope you understood well again, and inshallah you have to learn these units with the question answers and the objectives. Thank you so much.